Hello all, welcome to Gargi Classes, a hub of education. Here I Kumar Sharma greets you all into our today's video lecture where we are heading towards the next lecture which would take all into the foremost topic of NT-NET English literature, which is the drama. As I have elaborated about the chronological history of drama from its origin until 21st century. Now it's time to detail about the internal aspects of the dramas. So here I start with the British drama first of all. Here I would like to inform you all that the drama has its own spheres in various countries or areas, but we will begin with only British literature today. So as we all know, there are American dramas, there are fortes of American dramas too. Australian dramas are there, French dramas, African dramas, and Indian dramas too. So there are dramas which have its own spheres in different countries and in different areas. So we'll study about all those aspects or spheres of drama in our further upcoming videos, but today we will discuss only about British drama. All right. So we will be studying British drama from its emergence until today. Alright then, here I am going with the British drama. So British drama, the drama was introduced to Britain from Europe by the Romans. I have already mentioned this particular topic in our earliest discussion about chronological history of drama, where I discussed that the dramas were emerged in Greece, and from there the Romans took the dramas forms, and from Romans this forms came into Britain. So drama was introduced to Britain from Europe by the Romans, and auditorium were constructed across the country for this purpose. So throughout the country Britain, there is England, Scotland, Ireland. So there are the auditoriums which were constructed over there across the country for this purpose to entertain the people. So by the medieval period, the mummers play. About mummers play, I have introduced this particular form of plays in my early videos. Still, I am going to define a bit lines of this. That mummers plays are kind of folk plays performed by the troops of amateur actors. They are all male traditionally, and in such plays, a number of characters are being called over the stage, and two of whom among mummers play in mummers play, two of whom are engaged in a combat with each other, and the person who loses or the character who loses the combat is revived by a doctor character. And sometimes these kind of dramas are associated with sword dances. So this is all about mummers drama. So by medieval period, there are mummers dramas had developed into Britain, a form of early street theatre associated with the Morris dance. Morris dance is a form of dance, and concentrating on themes such as St. George, Dragon, and Robin Hood. So in Britain, there was the transformation of dramas which was introduced by the Romans in Europe. So here we could come to know that in medieval period in Britain there came the mummers plays. Mummers plays is a kind form of play about which I have given you few lines and which had developed over there. And these kind of theatre associated with Morris dance. Morris is a kind form of dance which concentrating on themes such as Saint George, Dragon, and Robin Hood. Later on, these were folk tales retailing old stories, and actors travel from town to town performing these of their audiences in return for money and hospitality. So in Britain, while there was the arrival of drama, then the people started earning by these kind of performances. What they did, the actors or the performers went town to town or street to streets and present their entertainment, which we call the drama, in front of audience. And they did so just because to in return of money and hospitality from the audience. So this is the emergence of drama in Britain only. Later on in Britain, the foremost plays are called mystery plays or the miracle plays. So mystery plays and the miracle plays are the earliest form of plays in Britain. So these are among the earliest formally developed plays in medieval Europe. Medieval mystery plays focused on the representation of Bible story in churches as tableaux and which are accompanying antiphonal songs. So in medieval mystery or miracle plays, these were basically focused upon the representation of biblical stories, the stories which are completely dependent on Bible. So the biblical stories are presented in mystery or miracle plays, and these are presented in churches as a tableaux. Tableaux, which means, here I am giving you few lines of tableaux. What is tableau over here? So tableaux is a group of models or motionless figures are there who presented a scene from a story or from a history. So there are figures of statues, motionless figures of statues over the stage, which present a scene from a story or from the history, which is all related to Bible, accompanying with the antiphonal songs. So they developed from 10th to 16th century, reaching the height of their popularity in 15th century before being rendered obsolete by the rise of professional theater. So before the rising of the professional theaters, there were only these kind of plays in Britain, which was performed, or which were performed or presented in the streets, in the churches, or by going the performance town to town or street to street. So this is all about our mystery or miracle plays, which are the foremost art or form of plays presented in Britain. All right. While we are moving ahead, then we came to know that there are four complete or nearly complete extant English biblical collection of plays. So there are the collections of plays too from the late medieval period, although these collections are sometimes referred as cycles. So there are four cycles in which the plays, these mystery or miracle plays, which is related to medieval era, are consisted into these four cycles. So the first and foremost cycle is York cycle, which is all complete cycle. It consists 48 pageants. Pageants means a public entertainment consisting of a procession of people in elaborate colorful costumes or an outdoor performances on a historical scene, a kind of display drama, we can say. So pageants are all about a kind of display drama. Hope you understand that this is a kind of public entertainment which consists of procession. A kind of public procession is there. All right. In India, we call it as jhankies. If you come to know with a jhanki, there are the person or personate characters over a cart which presented something or performed something which is all related to their history or their past, or the which is related to their sacraments. So these are what we call the pageants. So York cycle consists 48 pageants in it, and they were performed in the city of York. That's why they called York cycle. The next cycle is the Wakefield or Townley mystery plays. The Wakefield or Townley mystery plays are a series of 32 mystery plays. In Wakefield cycle, there is 32 mystery plays based on Bible, most likely performed around the feast of Corpus Christi, probably in the town of Wakefield, England, during the late Middle Ages until 1576. So these were performed until 1576 in the particular town that is called the Wakefield. That's why this cycle is being called as Wakefield or Townley mystery plays. All right, and this cycle consists 32 mystery plays in it, which are all dependent upon Bible. Our next cycle is Chester mystery plays. Is a cycle of mystery plays originating in the city of Chester, England, and dating back to at least the early part of the 15th century. So the next or the third one cycle is called the Chester Mystery Plays. This is a cycle which is all about the mystery plays originating in the city of Chester particularly, and these are all related to the 15th century in England. Then the fourth cycle is Coventry Mystery Plays or Coventry Corpus Christi pageants are a cycle of medieval mystery plays from Coventry, West Midlands, England, and are perhaps best known as the sources of the Coventry Carol. So, Coventry mystery plays are represented or presented in basically West Midland, England, a particular place which is called Coventry, and perhaps these are best known as the source of the Coventry Carol. So this is all about our four basic cycles in which the mysterious or the miracle plays are consisted over there, and which are related to perform in a particular places, of which these names are given: the Chester, the Coventry, the Wakefield, and the York. So these four cycles we have in mystery plays, and in which the particular pageants are consisted. Alright, then we are moving ahead with these biblical plays differ widely in content. Most contain episodes such as the fall of Lucifer. So these cycles, the plays of these cycles represented various contents and episodes, and which are related to biblical stories such as the fall of Lucifer, the creation and fall of man, Cain and Abel, Noah and the flood, Abraham and Isaac, the nativity, the rising of Lazarus, the passion, and the resurrections. Later on, other pageants include the stories of Moses, the procession of the prophets, Christ's baptism, and the temptation in the wilderness, and the assumption and coronation of the Virgin. In given cycles, the plays came to be sponsored by the newly emerging medieval craft guilds. So these cycles, the plays which are consisted in these four cycles: York, Wakefield, Chester, and Coventry. In these cycles, whatever the plays are, these all are related to the story which are there in our Bible. So there, the stories are the representations of these particular topics relevant to Bible, whether that is the fall of Lucifer, Abraham and Isaac, nativity, Cain and Abel, creation and fall of man, raising of Lazarus, resurrections, Christ's baptism, and the temptation in the wilderness, assumption and coronation of the Virgin. So these are the basic topics which are all relevant to Bible, and these are presented on the stage or in the churches or in the streets or the towns by specifically by the sponsors uh, emerging in medieval era, which they gave the name craft guilds. Craft guilds is an association of workers of some trade for mutual benefits. So those craft guilds sponsored these kind of dramas, and the performers were there to perform all these themes over the stage and in the churches. So this is all about these cycles in which the plays or pageants are consisted, and the topics upon which they performed over the stage are given here. So this is all about our mystery or miracle plays which were performed, which was popular until 16th of centuries, 15th or 16th century. All right, then we are moving ahead towards the next form of plays which were well renowned in 15 until 15th or 16th century, from 10th to 15th and 16th century. So these are morality plays. Now what is morality plays, about which I have discussed in earlier videos while I was delivering lecture upon dramas. There I discussed dramas in three parts. So there I discussed about morality play too, but here I am going to distribute it into the parts. So here, the morality play is a genre of medieval and early Tudor theatrical entertainment. Tudor is a dynasty of kings in Britain. So morality plays are a genre of medieval and early Tudor theatrical entertainment. In their own time, these plays were known as interludes. So, in a broader sense, the morality play could be named as interludes too, in a broader term given to drama with or without moral themes. So, interludes are the dramas which consist in itself the dramas with morals or without morals. Alright, so morality plays are a type of allegory in which the protagonist is met by personifications of various moral attributes who try to prompt him to choose a goodly life over one of evil. So, in such kind of dramas, there are type of allegories in which the protagonist is met with various personifications, and that particular protagonist prompt the next personifications to choose a life which should be godly over one of evil. So, the plays were most popular in Europe during the 15th and 16th century, having grown out of the religiously based mystery plays of the Middle Ages. They represented a shift towards a more secular base of European theatre. So, from mystery or miracle plays, now the dramas jump over the morality plays, where a protagonist attributes as a person, as a moral person, as a religious personified person who met with the next personified people and who asked them to choose a life which is good and which can lead them towards heaven, a world of God, and towards over one of evil one. So this is all about our morality play, and the broader term of morality is interludes in which there are morals and moral themes and the themes which are not moral. So there are morality themes, and later on it converts into the interludes after some time. So, having grown out of religiously based mystery plays of Middle Ages, they represented a shift towards a more secular base of European theatre. Now, there is an example of morality plays about which we have heard somewhere. The play Everyman, whose author is not known yet, the anonymous play this is, and this play is a late 15th century English morality play. Everyman examines the question of Christian salvation by use of allegorical characters and what man must do to attain it. So, in order to get the salvation in Christianity, what things one must have to do? So these things are mentioned into this particular play, The Everyman. The play is the allegorical accounting of the life of every man who represents all mankind. So here every man is a character who personified or who represented all humankind, all mankind. In the course of the action, every man tries to convince other characters who are personified there, who are allegorized characters over there, to accompany him in the hope of improving his account. All the characters are all allegorical, each personifying an abstract idea such as fellowship, goods, knowledge. The conflict between good and evil is dramatized by the interaction between the characters. So there are the conflict between the good and the evil, and the good protagonist tried to convince or try to transform all the rest characters into the good one and ask them to choose the life which lead them towards the heaven, towards the world of God. So this can lead them towards salvation too. So this is all about our mystery, miracle, morality, and an extended form of morality plays is interlude. All right then. Now we are moving towards the English Renaissance, a period of revival into English drama. So here we came to know. So sorry for this. Okay. So English Renaissance, the period known as English Renaissance, approximately 1500 to 1660, so as flowering of the drama and all arts in England. All right, and this particular period is being called Elizabethan and Augustan period in English literature. So we are moving towards the first and foremost drama of English Renaissance, and which is called the earliest comedy in English, which is written by Nicholas Udall. Nicholas Udall's Ralph Roister Doister, which is written in 1552, performed in 1552. Alright, so this play is regarded as the first comedy to be written in English language. So Nicholas Udall's first and foremost comedy is Ralph Roister Doister, which is regarded as the first comedy to be written in English language. It was written in 1552. Ralph Roister Doister seems to have been inspired by the works of Plutus and Terence. So, Nicholas Udall inspired to write this particular comedy, Ralph Roister Doister, by inspiring these particular writers of Roman and Greek era, who are Plutus and Terence. Now, who are Plutus and Terence? I am going to tell you all. Now, here we will study all about Plutus first of all. So, Plutus is Titus Maxius Plutus, whose smaller name we came to know here is Plutus. So this particular writer belongs to 254 to 184 BC, before the birth of Christ. Commonly known as Plutus, was a Roman playwright of the Old Latin period. His comedies are the earliest Latin literary works to have survived in their entirety. So basically, Titus Maxius Plutus is a Roman playwright and who belongs to the period 254 until 184 BC, and he wrote one of the plays which is called Palliata Commedia. Palliata Commedia is Fabula Palliata. So, Fabula Palliata is a kind of genre of Roman drama that consists largely of Romanized versions of Greek plays. So, Fabula Palliata or Palliata Commedia, which is written by Plutus, is a kind of Roman drama. It's a genre in Roman drama which consists largely of Romanized version of Greek drama. So Palliata comes from pallium, the Latin word for a Greek style clock. So Palliata comes from the particular word pallium, which is meant by cloak. Cloak is an overcoat or the mask which were worn by the people of European arena. So clock, it is possible that the term Fabula Palliata indicates that the actors who performed wore such cloaks. Another possibility is that the fabula itself is metaphorically cloaked in a Greek style. As in all Roman drama, the actors wore masks that easily identified which of the stock character they represented. So in the Roman or Greek arena, there were the characters who always wore the mask while they performed over the stage, so that the audience could easily get to know that what character is being presented on the stage. So from that particular form, this word palliata took, which means the cloak over there, which were worn by the characters who performed over the stage. So published Terentius affair, the another to whom we came to know as Terence, Plutus and Terence, another writer, so better known in English as Terence, so was a Roman playwright. He is also a Roman playwright. During the Roman Republic of Berber descent, his comedies were performed for the first time around 170 to 160 BC. His one of the famous quotes which he recited in one of his dramas or plays is, "I am human and I think nothing human is alien to me." That means all are to me my own family. This quote appeared in his one of the plays. So he recited, Terence recited once that I am human and I think nothing human is alien to me. That means all the humans are all together construct a family only. Okay then. So now we are moving ahead towards the same topic, the British drama. All right. Now, in the foremost character of Ralph Royster Doyster, the titular character is a variation of braggart soldier archetype, but with the innovation of parasitic tempter, which stems from the morality play traditions. So, so so the main character, the titular character, are the representation and which stems the form from the morality tradition play. All right, now we are moving ahead towards the next topic, having the same context. By combining the structures, conventions, and styles of ancient Greek and Roman comedies with English theatrical tradition and social types, Udall was able to establish a new form of English comedy. So there were the combination of ancient Greek and the Roman comedies into English theatrical tradition, and by combining Greek and Romans, Udall was able to establish a new form of English comedy, which is the first comedy of English language. So we are moving towards the plot of the play Ralph Royster Doyster by Nicole Udall, and who inspired to write this particular play by both the Roman playwrights, of course, Plutarch and Terence, about whom I have discussed few points. Now we are leading towards the particular plot of the play. So here, the play is written in 5 acts, and the plot of the play centers on a rich widow whose name is Christian Constance. So there is a rich widow whose name is Christian Constance, and who is betrothed to Gwan Goodlook, a merchant. So there the drama is divided into 5 acts. So there the main character is who's rich widow, whose husband is dead, and who is now, after the death of her husband, is now betrothed to a merchant whose name is Gwan Goodluck. So later on, while there is the protagonist of the play, Ralph Royster Doyster, is encouraged throughout by a con maker trickster. Now, what is con man trickster? Con man is a kind of character who cheats and tricks someone by gaining their trust and persuading them to believe something that is actually not truth. So Ralph Foster Doyster is encouraged throughout by a con man trickster figure whose name is Matthew Marigreek to woo Christian Constant, but his pompous attempts do not succeed. So here what happened is the rich widow is betrothed to this particular rich merchant, Gwan Goodluck, but Ralph Royster Doyster was prompted or encouraged by this con man whose name is Matthew Mary Greek to woo Christian Constance, who's already betrothed to somebody else. But this pompous attempts do not succeed. Ralph then tries with his friends and servants at Mary Greek's behest to break in and take Christian Constance by force, but they are defeated by her maids and run away. Now, later on, while his pompous attempt didn't succeed earlier, now Rolf, with the help of his friends and servants, again tries the same task to earn Christian Constance, but her maids her maids makes him run away from the scene. So now finally, while the question comes at the climax, as I have already mentioned that this is a comedy, so this must be end on a happy note, of course. So the merchant Gwan arrives shortly after, and the play concludes happily with reconciliation, a prayer, and a song. So this is all about a comedy, Ralph Royster Doyster, which is written by Nicholas Udall. So there is a widow who is betrothed to somebody else, a merchant, but the main protagonist tried to on Christian by encouraging somebody else whose name is Matthew Merrick over here, but he failed at his task, and finally Gwen arrives shortly after the scene, and the play ends on a happy note as everybody settles down on their own satisfactions. All right, so this is all about our first comedy of English language or English literature and English drama, Ralph Reister Deutster. So onwards tomorrow or from the very next upcoming videos, we will be discussing the dramas which are relevant to Britain or the British drama. So here I have discussed about the emerging plots of drama in Britain. So thank you so much for watching my video. For further details, you must wait until my upcoming videos. So thank you so much, and do subscribe, do like if you think this video is worthy enough for you all, and do comment me if you have any idea regarding this. Thank you so much.